Hi everyone. Today I'd like to read and discuss an anthropological article I really like, written by Kwon, titled The Work of Waiting. This is a story not about those who migrate, but about those who are left behind. It focuses on how, in the 1990s, ethnic Koreans in China's Yanbian region began migrating to South Korea for economic reasons, and how their spouses, children, and parents at home endured long-term waiting. Brown argues that waiting is not passive or idle. It's a kind of labor, one deeply entangled with love, money, hope, and suffering. We often talk about the migrants, where they go, how much money they make, but we rarely focus on those who stay. Have their lives changed? How do they maintain relationships with the migrants? And is waiting, in fact, a kind of labor? There is a line in Kwon's paper that really struck me. Waiting wasn't about doing nothing, it was about doing something. Waiting, then, is not nothing. It's a meaningful act, a form of daily work embodied in emotional and moral expectations. Through her fieldwork in Yanbian, Kwon interviewed many people who had been left behind: husbands, wives, children, elderly parents. She found that waiting is a form of affective labor and also a survival or strategy. For example, there is a man named Mr. Ho. His wife went to South Korea to work, while he stayed behind to raise their child and care for his aging parents. He said, "I don't earn money, but I manage the money. I manage the money she sends home." In his view, managing money is his responsibility. It's his way of continuing to perform the role of a husband. He says, taking care of money is more important than making money. This line may sound bold, but behind it is a deep emotional and masculine struggle. By managing the remittances his wife sends, he restores a sense of control and maintains a long-distance relationship based on mutual roles and respect. But not every story ends well. There is also Miss Li. Her husband promised he would come back in 3 years. She waited 7. 7 years of no visits, and eventually the money stopped. Then he disappeared entirely. She said she didn't just lose her husband, she also lost faith in her village. In Yanbian, whether someone has a relative working in South Korea became a marker of family success. Money became not only a sign of love and support, but also a kind of moral pressure. In this paper, Kwon emphasizes that waiting is not just emotional, it's deeply tied to global economic and political structures. She argues that in transnational marriages, love itself is assigned social and economic value. Waiting becomes a carefully maintained performance, emotional investment, financial coordination, and moral labor all rolled into one. And this kind of labor is highly gendered. Often, it is the woman who migrates to earn money, while the man stays behind. The man, like Mr. Ho, has to learn how to care for children and elders and deal with the loss of his traditional role as provider. Women who stay behind often face gossip and social pressure. People wonder whether their husbands will return. The roles of waiting and being waited for are not simply reversible. They involve deep emotional, social, and moral negotiations. This paper made me think of many real-world parallels. In rural China today, Thousands of migrant workers sent money home, while their families wait in silence. Even in urban areas, among long-distance couples, international students, or migrant families, we all experience some form of waiting in our lives. We tend to treat waiting as background, as something passive or invisible. But in reality, it is an invisible form of labor. Those who wait must sustain emotional ties, manage financial risk, maintain trust, and balance loneliness and responsibility. Isn't that a kind of work? That's it for today's reading. Thank you for your listening. If you are interested in the original article, search for Kwon, The Work of Waiting, Love and Money in Korean Chinese Transnational Migration, published in Cultural Anthropology, 2015.